Love is so sweet, but having a loving and caring partner is even sweeter. Meet Sandra and Badmus, a beautiful couple who met in high school and became lovers. Their love spread like the wind, blowing through the hearts of every single person around them and making everyone envious of their bond. Sandra was a sweet, stunningly beautiful lady with a perfect, well-shaped body. Her smile alone added glamour to any environment, and the way she walked could drive any man crazy without even needing a car. Yes, I can boldly say Sandra was breathtakingly beautiful with an amazing figure. One day, Sandra and Badmus were walking down the street hand in hand, smiling and chatting happily. Anyone who saw them could clearly feel the deep love between these two lovebirds. Suddenly, they met an old woman who stopped them and asked for help. She begged them to give her some money for food. Badmus immediately dipped his hand into his pocket and gave her enough money to eat well. The old woman was overjoyed. She smiled brightly and prayed for them. Sandra and Badmus replied with a warm amen, and were about to continue walking when the old woman called them back. She handed them a magic spray and told them to use it when they got home. She said they would receive a visitor, and that this was the only small way she could show her appreciation. At first, Sandra and Badmus were afraid to accept the magic spray, but eventually they summoned the courage, took it, and walked away. When they got home, Badmus did exactly as the woman had instructed. He waited for some minutes, but nothing happened. Hours later, still nothing. So he and Sandra concluded that the old woman had only deceived them. "I'm hungry," Badmus said to his girl. Sandra replied, "It's already night. Let me make you dinner." After preparing dinner, they ate and went to bed. Very early the next morning, there was a slight knock on their door. Sandra woke up first, stretching and yawning. She walked to the door and opened it. Immediately, a very bright, shining white light flashed onto her face. In fear, she quickly raised her right hand to cover her eyes and block the light's reflection. After a few seconds, the light faded away, and what she saw standing right in front of her next was truly shocking. After the lights went out, Sandra was surprised to see 3 old men standing in front of her. They were all dressed in glowing white clothes, each with a long white beard, and each one holding a staff, a long white stick. Sandra shouted, and the noise caught Badmus's attention. He ran to the door to see what was happening. When he arrived, he saw the 3 wise men standing before him and was shocked. Before he could say anything, the 3 men greeted them and explained that they were the ones who had been invited. One of them said, "The spray Badmus used last night invited us." The first man began the introductions. "I am Wealth." The second said, "I am Love." The third introduced himself. "I am Peace." One of the 3 wise men then explained, "We are all your visitors, but you can only choose one of us. You cannot choose all 3. You have the opportunity to welcome only one as your guest." He told Sandra and Badmus to decide whom they wanted to invite, adding that they had only 5 hours to make their choice. Badmus and Sandra went back inside and discussed the matter carefully. Badmus chose Wealth. He said to his girlfriend, "Babe, we already love each other, so we don't need more love. And as for peace, having wealth will bring us whatever peace we want. What do you think?" Sandra sighed and replied, "Babe, money cannot bring every kind of happiness we want. But let's do this." She brought out 3 sheets of paper. On the first, she wrote, "Wealth," on the second, "Peace," and on the third, "Love." She rolled each paper up to hide the names, mixed them, and scattered them on the floor. She held Badmus's hand and asked him to join her in prayer, asking God to guide them in picking the right one. After the prayer, Sandra picked up one of the papers and opened it. It read Love. She told Badmus, "The universe has already chosen for us." Then she said, "Let me go and invite Love as our guest." Badmus accepted, though somewhat reluctantly. Sandra opened the door and invited Love inside. Immediately, Love stood up to enter, and both Wealth and Peace followed him in. Surprised, Sandra and Badmus asked, "We only invited Love." Wealth replied, "If you had chosen me, I would have been your only guest." The same applies to Peace. If you had chosen him, he would have come alone. But you chose Love. Wherever Love goes, we go with him.